What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you back on the channel. On a previous episode, we gave a very brief introduction into the world of search engine optimization, or SEO for short. On today's episode, we'll be taking a little bit more of a practical and focused approach. We'll be looking at the 3 key ways that you can actually optimize your website today to take advantage of Google's search rankings. That way, your website and your products can get seen by much more people that are specifically looking for what it is that you have to offer. What's up, design family, and welcome to Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you here. On this channel, we discuss all things sports fashion, graphic design, manufacturing, and technology. We'll discuss key topics, answer pressing questions, and provide actionable steps on starting your own product line. If you're interested in any of the above topics, stick around. You're in for a good one. When it comes to the 3 key ways that you can actually implement tools and tricks into your website to optimize its rankings, whether it's on Google, Bing, or any other search engine, the first is going to be to provide high quality content. Google especially appreciates original user-oriented content, all of which is aimed at actually solving customers' questions or providing useful and valuable information. When it comes to the type of content you can try offering, make sure that it is both useful and informative. If you're running an e-commerce store, which let's face it, you most likely are, make sure to include content like expert interviews, trends, and other styling tips. This additional advice can go a long way to providing value and key information to your customers. Make sure that you provide more value on your website than other websites. Make sure to pick topics that are interesting to your customers, understand them well, and ensure that your content provides more value and a different perspective than competing websites or the competitors in your space. You can look at things like the craftsmanship and the background of your materials. This can go a long way towards getting your customers involved in the process of creating, designing, and making your product. Ensure that your content is credible. Boost the trustworthiness of your website and the reputation of the content you're providing by including a biography and even real-world customer reviews. All of these are going to go a long way towards providing social proof in terms of what you're saying and authenticating the information provided. Make sure that your content is both unique and specific. The content you provide on your website should not be seen on a large number of other platforms or your competitors' websites. It's always good to aim to provide a good user experience first when it comes to your content, rather than just simply regurgitating content or pumping out blog posts and other types of content pieces simply to rank well on Google. Make sure that your content is engaging. Bring color and life to your website by adding eye-catching images and other types of visual media to your products and your posts. Also, bear in mind that the excessive use of ads is something you definitely want to avoid. It distracts from the main purpose of your content. Also, avoid spelling, stylistic, and other types of errors. Make sure to push strong website activity. So what does this mean? Offer frequent updates to your websites. Reviews and comments all are going to go a long way towards consistently updating your website, keeping it fresh, and showing the search engine that your website is up to date, is being reviewed, and that there is a life to it. The second thing that you should definitely be focusing on if you're interested in optimizing your website for search ranking results is going to be to offer a user-friendly website. So the user experience that your website offers is going to be a key element in terms of making your website rank higher on any search engine. Try to make browsing your website as easy as possible. At the end of the day, customers and potential customers are going to have zero tolerance for poorly designed, poorly maintained, and poorly navigatable websites. Focus on making sure that your website is mobile friendly. Websites today should undoubtedly be able to adapt for different size screens. So make sure that your website is fully adaptive for the many different types of gadgets and other electronics that people may be using to surf your website. This is going to help raise your Google ranking significantly. Failing to do so will have the adverse effect. Focus on thoughtful navigation. A thoughtful site structure is going to go a long way towards helping both your visitors and even Google's algorithm navigate your website. You need to try to avoid having more than 3 clicks when it comes to a customer or even Google accessing a specific type of your website. My specific recommendation here would be to use what are known as breadcrumbs. These can help customers direct themselves through a series of pages to get to and to funnel into what they want. For example, a customer lands on the homepage. Then in the top menu bar, they're able to see men's, and then they see tops, and then they're able to see t-shirts and casual items. These are what are known as breadcrumbs, and they help to logically lead a customer from point A to point B on your website. Fix the broken links that may or may not be on your website. Broken links and links that lead to nowhere actually severely hurt the credibility of your website. So consider using an online software to check all of the links on your website and help you to automatically remove the ones that lead to nowhere or the ones that lead to domains that have expired or have changed to something that you no longer want to lead to. Lastly, have a readable URL. Set an easy to read URL link. This is going to help both Google and the people surfing your website to understand what your page is about simply by looking at it. Last but not least, make sure that you're getting constant referrals from other websites back to your website. Like in the real world, Google actually believes in referrals, and a site that is consistently getting referred to by external websites is going to have a significant ranking boost. The first way that you can definitely go ahead and get more referrals back to your website is to approach other popular like-minded websites. So a mention on another popular site can go a long way towards boosting your rankings. But make sure when you're approaching that you do not bombard them. You need to explain specifically why that their users and their readers may find your content useful, informative, and interesting. When you're looking at a potential partnership, think of it from their side. Why should they take you on? What are they benefiting from when it comes to this partnership? Number 2, structure your website in such a way that it is sharing friendly. Include sharing options directly baked into your website, and these can be things like adding widgets. This is going to go a long way towards making it easy for others to link directly back to you. Link your website to other social platforms. So there's actually 2 ways you can approach this. You can either link to external social platforms that aren't your own. So this can be things like submitting your website to curator sites, online communities, or other forums that are specifically talking about the niche that you're in, or when you're on social, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, so on and so forth, you can consistently link back to your website using specific links that are there to help create that connection from your social feed directly on to your website. And last but not least, please, despite what other digital marketing gurus may tell you, do not buy links back to your website. This is strictly against Google's policy, and a sudden increase in traffic in links and referrals from other websites are going to set off that alarm. Consider building links naturally over time by doing the top 3 things that I mentioned to you just a minute ago. Well, that's a wrap on this episode, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It was a bit of a practical approach. I know that it was a brief approach nonetheless. By now you should have the basics necessary to go into the SEO world and begin building your website, attracting new visitors, new customers, and ultimately getting your name out there. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider smashing a thumbs up. It really does help us out. It is the cost of entry to this free content that we love providing to you guys. Also, if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. We put out great content on a week-to-week basis, pretty much every Wednesday and Sunday. Haven't missed a beat in over 2 years. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next episode, stay awesome.